Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to your first Discoverable online article. Oh my goodness, I can see you all starting to pop in. How are we? I would love to know where you are from and what's your business, plus perhaps most importantly, your go-to bev as well. Feel free to pop it in the chat below. I'm super excited to see you guys pop on. I haven't had a webinar on this platform before, so I would love to get popping in where you're from, what's your business, and your go-to bevy. We've got Bree from Lennox Head Research. Hi Brit, how are you? So nice to see you here. Britt, what's your business? Where are you coming from? What's your favorite go-to bev? I am also excited. Thanks so much for jumping in. All right, cool. Your first Discoverable online article. We are going to have a whole hour of a whole lot of fun. So I can't wait to jump in. Sophie from Gold Coast, Cultivate Business Support Service, lovely. Yoda from Ola Digital. Aperol Spritz, can't go past an Aperol Spritz. Love that. We've got Kim. Hey, illustrator in Brisbane. Okay, cool. This is really useful because I can also personalize what we're going to cover in here because of your businesses. Martin from Snapper Studios, nice to see you. Bev's got to be a beer. Yes, we're in summer season. Love a frosty cold one. Joe, Polar Creative, Brisbane, margaritas. I am a margarita girl myself as well. Hello, also Jared from Impact. All right, everyone's here. It's all happening. Snow sour, I don't even know what that is, but I'm loving that. Okay, cool. Pearly Jones, a Melbourne artist, so nice to have you here. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm so excited. So let's just, I guess, jump in. I would love to know, firstly, how do you feel about SEO? Are you bored, overwhelmed, confused, surprisingly curious, perhaps? I find sometimes that people feel the same about SEO as they do records, like it's a lot of effort and what's the point? Or is it just the same sound in a different way? Surprisingly curious, we've got a dancing queen. Curious but have no idea, love that. Okay, cool. Great to know. So your first Discoverable online article, I'm so excited to be sharing this with you today because we're going to be slaying your SEO sins and creating your first Discoverable article, working towards creating that first piece. Even if you don't think that you're super tech savvy and you don't have much time, or perhaps you feel a bit bored already. Also, we're going to cover what SEO is, how to diversify it for your business. And I can tell we've got quite a range of people here, which is really exciting. And then at the end, we're going to go through some tools and bonuses to help you out too. Also, for being here live, as a little thank you, there's a trapdoor bonus for only live people. Brody is from Brody Rose Creative. Love that. Brand designer, rural Queensland, not Christmas, Danielle. And also Rose, love that for you. So you've rocked over here and I'm so excited to have you here. In case our paths have not crossed before, hello, I'm Danielle Reed from Reed City Writing. I'm a copywriter and I basically help ambitious business rock stars to knee slide their brand under the spotlight, belt out their killer voice, and then turn people into a sea of raving fans, which is what I love to do. I also have a background in psychological science and I am a crazy cat lady. I'm also a drummer and a swing dancer, and I've worked with brands like Scared Social, Surfing Australia, and also Uber. Brit, Crazy Cat Ladies, unite. Thank you. On that note, meet my children. This is Lemmy and Larry. They may make an appearance today. Lemmy is the cute one, but don't be fooled and don't feel sorry for Larry because his personality is really excellent. Now, I've also written some top ranking articles for small businesses and large businesses from Uber and Scared Social, like we just spoke about. Also the Urban List you may have heard of. Basically everything from skincare and fashion to security cameras, TV antennas, skateboarding. I've blogged about a wide range of topics as well. So here are a few of those that are ranking Highly. So basically, the reason why I'm here is because dodgy people, for one, are not my kind of people. I saw that a lot of people were getting ripped off by thinking that SEO had to be this crazy massive thing, and it is actually super doable yourself. It's made out to be this kind of mystical biscuit, which it doesn't have to be. It can absolutely be DIY'd. You might be a startup in the DIY phase as well. And if you can do things yourself in this phase, it's going to be really great. However, if you're also outsourcing your SEO, it's really important to know kind of what you're paying for and what all the crazy terms mean. And also, if something's not fun, I'm kind of not really into it. So I'm trying my hardest to make SEO fun for you as well, so it can be easy, fast, and fun. Now, at the moment, I know that perhaps you've got your phone close by. I do too. I'm going to frisbee that away, scare the cats in the process. If you are in a busy spot, just go find yourself a nice, cozy little place to just kind of hang out for an hour, exit out your tabs, or if you are a bit of a tab hoarder like me, just minimize them down to the bottom. This is really important stuff that we're going to cover, and from a psychological standpoint, when we pay attention, we remember things better. So if you put your full focus on this masterclass today, then it's more likely to sink into your brain. Now, does SEO make you want to scoop your own eyeballs out? Let's see, of the following 4 things you could be feeling right now. Maybe you're feeling something else too. So number 1, are you feeling bored? Like, what even is the point with SEO? Number 2, maybe you're feeling confused, like you don't know where to start, or you're putting things off because you're not sure exactly the first steps. Number 3, you're overwhelmed. Maybe you have a lot of other things to do and you're like, damn, come on, don't you be adding to my list now. Or a new one that maybe you're also feeling. Okay, we've got a 3 for sure. Excellent, confused, overwhelmed, something else, maybe bored. I know that usually people are a combination of these as well. Brody's number 3. She knows it's important but hard to find. 3s, 2s, 3s, 2s and 3s. Yes. Okay, well, we haven't got too many bored people here, so that's kind of exciting. Well, the good news is that you are definitely in the right place. If you feel like SEO is maybe an unnecessary extra for your business, or you're getting overwhelmed because you're already posting in a lot of other places, maybe SEO feels like this huge big project and you're not ready for that level of commitment just yet. Or number 4, you're questioning whether SEO can actually help your business. All of these reasons are really great reasons to be here, because we're going to cover through all of them and see if SEO really is for your business. So after this webinar, you will have a better understanding of SEO. Also, you'll understand why SEO matters, know key ways to use SEO for your brand, and have the opportunity to ask me some questions too. So I would love your questions along the way, or at the end, we can run through those as well. Now, spoiler alert, SEO is how you reach more people, position yourself as an industry authority, grow your sales with little effort while saving yourself time and money. So I'm going to show you how that goes. I'm really excited. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can tell. So you're going to learn that what SEO is and the key terms you need demystified for your killer competitive advantage, the 4 SEO myths, and also how to choose your blog topic to stage dive into the world to maximize your opportunity for results, how to make dollars from your blog by choosing the right Backstage green room as well, which is really super exciting. Pearly, I think you're going to like that one. So we have a few name issues, I think, popping up. I had here all these messages coming up as being from Britt Stevens, but they are not. I don't know what's going on there, but thank you, anyone who is writing in there. So basically, what even is SEO? Like, what the heck is it? So essentially, SEO stands for search engine optimization. And this is basically the key influencing factor for results ranking in search engines. And before you literally melt into a puddle of boredom, all this means is that it's a fancy way of saying making it easier for people to find you on the internet. You want to be coming up as the best source for searches, and I don't mean barbecue sauce. So where will you find SEO? There's a few different places that you'll find it. Basically, everywhere is a search, everywhere with a search bar is a search engine. So for beginning to start with social media, so we'll find SEO in things like your title on socials, as well as tags and alt text. So your title on your Instagram bio, for example, can be optimized for searches as well, things like alt text. So alt text was essentially first for people who had vision impairments. Now Google also uses alt text to read our images too, because Google can't see our images. So by adding in a little description of it, it does make it easier for Google to, one, understand what the picture's of, and two, be able to put that in front of the right people. Next, YouTube. So we can find SEO in the titles, views, and viewer feedback. That is why when people are asking you to ring the little bell and like and subscribe and comment, this is all helping with their SEO results. As well, podcasts. So in your title, descriptions, and links. When we look at podcasts, the title, description, and even the backlinks from other places can count towards SEO. So this is why interviewing people with authority in their space can be a really great strategy. And also creating newsworthy articles that other people are likely to talk about is also excellent, because that means that you are able to then drive more traffic to your podcast. And there are ways that we can kind of SEO these for your website as well, which we'll get to. Google My Business also uses SEO, so your title, reviews, and location. Perhaps you have been looking up something on Google and you come up with Google My Business ratings, and you might see, hey, there's one that's coming up first that doesn't have as many 5-star reviews, for example, as another one. Google takes into account where you're located in relation to that business as well. So that's something to think about too. Now, the one I think we've all been waiting for. Drum roll, please. Google. So Google is, of course, the preferred search engine and the one that we're going to be speaking about today with regards to your website. So there are 5.6 billion Google searches each and every day. And according to Intergrowth, Google holds 92.27% of the total search market, which is really, really huge. So why should you care? Well, because 80% of major purchases start with online research, even if the purchase itself happens in store. And 75% of people never scroll past the first page of search engines. So it's important to know what influencers getting there. But not all businesses are optimized for SEO, which is really great news for you, because it means that there's a lot of opportunity there. So why should you care? Firstly, the rule of 7. We interact with brands on average around 7 times before we consider purchasing. And this is another touch point for them to grow that know, like, and trust factor with you. Also, companies who blog receive 97% more links to their website. This is really amazing, because it means that other people's traffic is coming to you. Also, 66% of B2B marketers who use blogging generate more leads than those who don't. So this is really exciting. And blogs increase your website traffic by up to 6%, and 77% of people read blogs. Now, to give you a quick summary of SEO, so SEO is made up of front end and back end. So front end just is a fancy way of saying what you can see on a blog, or in other words, a Google result. So you can see here in this thinking of getting a cat, we can see that title, the image, we can see that intro text as well. And then back-end SEO is what Google can show other people, or Google can see. So you can't see it on the page. It's not like the blog itself with the heading itself. You have instead the SEO title. So see how we've got thinking of getting a cat here. And then this is the exact same article, but in a Google result. So thinking of getting a cat - international cat care. Now, the meta description is just a little summary of what you're going to find inside. Google can either use your meta description that you type yourself, or it can use an excerpt from your on-page SEO, so part of your blog, for example, to show people if this is relevant to what they have been searching. So that's really exciting. Now, The 4 myths to kick to the curb, I wanted to briefly touch on these because SEO does come with some misconceptions, that is for sure, and it really grinds my gears. So I wanted to clear them up for you. So firstly, myth number 1, it is complicated. So I wanted to take you back into a little time machine for a sec. So my first ever job was actually writing SEO articles. And this was before I had even really started my own online business. And to give you an idea of how limited my tech experience was, my logo at the time, I had typed into a Word document, Reed City, and put little spaces between the letters because I thought, whoa, look at me. And then I took a photo of the computer screen because I didn't know how to screenshot. So yes, you could see definitely like the blue lines on the screen. And it was just really, really bad. I think the point that I'm trying to make here is that you can make SEO really simple and you don't have to be super techy. I was really overwhelmed and confused to begin with, of course, but that's why I have simplified the steps, because I don't want other people to feel overwhelmed and confused. You don't need to be techy or know any confusing code, or there's no like invisible cookies or anything. I'm not a really techy person, and many people will attest to this. Trust me, probably people in this masterclass now, like Britt, for example, look, SEO is within your reach. I am definitely one of the least techie people you might ever meet. So myth number 2 is that blogs are lame and everyone is on Instagram. So a lot of people feel that perhaps social media is better than blogs. While this masterclass is called SEO, just your first discoverable article, I talk a lot about blogs in it. And even if you don't plan to have a blog, then these rules will still apply to your website as well. So even if you don't plan on starting a blog, you can absolutely apply these SEO steps to your website to help increase your website traffic on a place that you own, not another platform like the old Zucky could be removing at any point in time, and we have no control over that. I'll take you through a little bit more the difference between SEO and socials in a moment. Another myth is that it's not a good use of your time. And I really hear this a lot because I get it. I'm a business owner as well, and you may have many, many things to do. In fact, I know that you have many, many things to do. And of course, it would be good to be in your genius zone all of the time. We would love to hang out there. But if you're here, then you're no doubt having to market your business as well. And this happens in all different places, like Instagram, like Facebook. Maybe you run a podcast or have an email newsletter. As someone, aka me, who is addicted to productivity, I get that you want to make sure that your time is always optimized. That's maybe my favorite thing about SEO, though, because you invest the time and then it works for you as a resource for your audience to build your know, like, and trust factor, or to reach more people simply by existing. As well, maybe you've written blogs in the past and no one's read them, or they haven't grown your website traffic. And this could potentially be because you have not had them with SEO content. This becomes a really expensive hobby because you're just pouring in time to have no reward. SEO is really where the juicy stuff comes, where your hard work is actually going to begin to be recognized. And sure, socials are instant gratification, absolutely. And SEO, on the other hand, is a long-term strategy, though, you know, if you are writing for your website or you're writing for socials, you could invest the same amount of time and get 2 different outcomes. For example, I put it to the test. And so in 1 hour, I wrote 3 social post captions, sourced their images and scheduled them. And then also in an hour, I wrote 1 blog. The thing is that my social posts may have a peak in engagement, but over time, they'll slowly slip down my feed. Even in the hashtag feeds, they'll go down, 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 and kind of their life has lived, apart from if I repost them with a new image, for example. So while you may feel like your time's best spent on socials, and since you're getting instant engagement, which feels really nice, it can be really tempting to stay there. But this relies solely on you creating new content all of the time. And the funny thing is that what you've already created on socials is probably going to be a really great starting point for a blog. The thing about SEO blogs is that once they're out there, they are out there. This is content that does not expire, and people can find it over and over and over and over. Not only can this help to increase your website traffic, of course, without doing too much at all, but they can also be optimized for people to inquire in less amount of clicks. Think about it. You're sending people literally to, for most of us, the place where people make sales, your point of sale. So you're juggling all of the business things, and I totally get that. So having something work for you is actually always a great option. As well, creating this content can actually save you time, because you could then repurpose this into social posts or EDMs instead of creating new content each and every time. The fourth myth is that SEO doesn't make you rockstar rich because no one reads blog and they sound bad. So, okay, you might recall that blogs originally were places to read up on personal stories or crafts, teenage ramblings, if you had a Tumblr like I did. Sometimes people made money through these by having sponsors or ads on their sites. Today, blogs, though, have come a long way, and they're a really powerful business tool. They can actually be a really great way to boost your sales, not through sponsors and ads, although that is possible, but by getting people closer to your point of sale, building your know, like, and trust factor and reaching a wider audience. According to Active Blogs, 33% of B2B companies use blogs, and companies that blog have 97% more inbound links, which we just touched on earlier, which is really, really exciting, because this means that other people's websites are leading people to your website, and potentially this could mean that you are getting their traffic and all you did was write the blogs. The thing is, while many businesses blog, a lot of them aren't optimized for SEO. So this is a really great opportunity for you and your business, because blogs equals search results in Google. So you can build your know, like, and trust factor. You can help to get in front of more people. And the average person makes around 11,000 Google searches a year, or 20 to 30 a day. So that's a lot of opportunity for your business to be turning up in those search results. By bringing new people closer to your services or products, blogs can help to boost your sales with your know, like, and trust factor. People also have a misconception that SEO articles sound really bad, but in fact, you probably don't even notice when some blogs are optimized for SEO. That's because they're optimized for the question that you have searched for. For example, I've written blogs for urban lists, and you probably don't notice SEO in places like this because you're having too much fun along the way as well. I actually threw in a fifth myth because I felt this was important too. So there is the myth that SEO is only for big brands who are established and super smart with a big team or lots of time. So you definitely don't have to be a big brand, but you can use SEO to reach big brands. In fact, one of my clients recently reached a massive brand on World Entrepreneur Day because their website turned up in the image search results, which was really, really cool. And it meant that they had this new connection and now this new brand collaboration. So simple steps really can equal big rewards. And the reason why you think that super smart people could be using blogs is potentially because this does position them as an authority, and that's why you want to be writing SEO blogs. Yes, some big brands do have teams who write blogs all day, every day, but these aren't the only people who blogs are for. Personally, SEO has allowed me to reach people from around the globe. I'm a small business too, and I don't have time to write SEO blogs 100% of the time. In fact, I've only actually got 5 website pages, and since 2017, 59 blogs. But my website is just a little one. And even with this little effort, my website has offered me more speaking opportunities. Also, I've reached clients in places like France and the UK, the US, all through my website being optimized for Google. I wanted to give you a little example of what that can look like in action. So this is my website traffic, and organic search is the dark blue. So down the very bottom here, these are people who don't know my business name. The lighter blue is people who do know my business name. And then the really light stuff is things like socials and referrals, things like that. You can see that over time, I don't know what I was doing on these days, obviously being spoken about for some reason, but over time, the organic search is actually bringing me more traffic to my website than the direct search. So people who are looking at who already know my business name, for example. So if we look a little closer at how people are finding me with a small website, for example, I have highlighted all of the places that are blogs, and then all of the white space is simply the website pages on my website. So this means that imagine if all I had was the website pages, all of these highlighted parts would not be finding people. And then when we look at the landing pages as well, so this is where people are first going on my website, you can see that my top pages or posts are blogs rather than my actual website copy. And that's why we really want to make sure that we're diversifying what sort of copy we have on our website. Now, let's jump into the what, why, and words of SEO. So, what makes up SEO? There are lots of things that make up SEO, but to put it simply, SEO has these three kind of areas. So, content type and relevance. Your content type and relevance is what captivates and keeps your reader. Then we've got your links. So these are your backlinks or other people linking to your website, and it shows Google that you're really trustworthy. Next, we've got keywords that show that your content is focused on what the reader has searched for. And keywords do play a role in how relevant the content is through Google as well. So what can you SEO? You can SEO a whole lot of things. There are a lot of different places that you can use it. You can use it over and over, and your SEO content is designed to work over time for you. You can also repurpose your SEO content in other places to make it easier for you to be creating content too. So I want you to think about how new people are discovering your website right now. Can you tell me why someone would be coming to your website? Is it simply to see more information about you and your brand? Is it specifically just with your services and products? Or are you helping them to solve a problem? Basically, our website traffic comes down to direct and indirect. So direct is people who already know your brand name, and this includes your referrals. Brody, probably to see my services and examples of my work. Excellent, cool. Now, when we look at these two types of traffic, Sarah, excellent. We want to make sure that we're also showing up in a time when your reader is ready for your products and services. So things like indirect traffic are how you show up in other ways. So this is discovery through search engines, and it's not your business name. It's more what you offer, but even further than that, it is also solving their problems. It's also by getting people to your website through indirect, we are able to be at the point when they need us most. So this is either at a point of distress or interest. And people really love to come to websites to be entertained, educated, and inspired. So indirect looks like discovery through SEO and people finding you when they need you most. So Bree, yes, at a point of distress. This is really important because if we simply have our services and products on our website, perhaps they don't know why they need them yet, or perhaps they're not sure, are they at the right stage in their business? Do they have the right questions? Like, what are their questions and what are the answers that we can help provide them with? By answering people's questions, we position ourselves as an authority because, hello, people love it when you have the answer. And this shows that you know something that they don't as well. And who wouldn't like that? People like people who people buy from people who they like. And this is a really great way of positioning yourself that way. This is what we just went over earlier, but remember when we looked at this, and the organic search is the indirect search. So people who didn't know me before, and then over time, it actually works out to be bringing more people to my website rather than people who simply know me only. Let's have a peek at some basic consumer psychology. So no one likes to be sold to, and we don't want to sell to people either. A lot of the time we feel a bit gross about it. So SEO makes it their idea to interact with you and maybe buy from you. Blogs work to build your know, like, and trust factor while positioning your reader closer to your point of sale. Remember, 80% of major purchases start with online research, even if the purchase itself happens in store, which is really cool. So let's have a little noggin sparkler, and I'm going to have a little noggin sip. What reasons are you giving people to visit your website right now? Noggin sparkled. Let's look at why blogs. So if you're simply listing your products and services and information about your business on your website, then blogs are a really great way to send even more traffic your way. They're designed to drive traffic to your website, also provide value to your audience and show that you know your stuff. As if you were to post this on socials instead, then this is not really building up a collection of resources for your potential clients and customers, but it is actually it's keeping them on another place. It also increases your discoverability, which is also known as inbound marketing, and more content means that you're more likely to captivate the right people because you're answering the right questions, which means they want to stay on your website longer, which means they're having a lower bounce rate. Bounce rate is when you click on something and then click away. Google really likes it when we have low bounce rates. By having more content on our website, we're actually able to then help to keep people there longer. And then blogging also works as a 24/7 marketing engine. Without SEO, people can't actually buy from you if they're not on your website, for most of us. And you must then have to drive all of the traffic to your website on your own. You're relying on things like social media posts, which do over time get lost. And I'm not saying don't post on socials because it is an important channel. I just want to bring your attention to the idea of posts that expire and posts that are long-term. They're ready for people to read, learn from you, like you more, trust you more, and see you as an authority. As well, without SEO, you're forever creating new content instead of leveraging content that never expires, which is really exciting. So for this exercise, I would recommend grabbing a little pen if you have one close by and thinking of a blog rather than a website page. Earlier, we spoke about SEO and how this can be used for your website pages as well. This is things like your about page, services page, packages, stuff like that. However, for this exercise, let's think of a blog topic. So this means that you basically have greater creative freedom as we're going through. The reason that a blog topic really matters is because we need to make sure that other people want to read it. And SEO takes content relevance into account when Google takes content relevance into account when looking at SEO content as well. So this is going to be super duper important. Let's keep in mind where you want to show up in Google though. Google has a sneaky way of displaying information, which you may or may not already know. And this is really important to get right so that you have the highest chance of being rewarded by Google. Your content needs to be relevant to what Google already likes. And keeping in mind how you can use these content types to your advantage based off the topic that you're going to be focusing on. I would like to introduce you to a little ditty called intent matching. So Google's very clever and matches us to things in our search depending on the way that we word them. So here we've got hat for cat. Do you want to show up as a product, for example? Because you can SEO your product descriptions for that. Or we can look at how to make a hat for a cat. You can see here, and with each of these, you'll be able to see in this top bar here, the order of how these are shown change depending on how we write in the search bar. So for this one, we've got video coming up next. And this is because we have how to. So how to content is very, very popular in the video space. So this isn't to say that you can't write a blog about how-to stuff, but you might want to think about having a video embedded in your blog for that, because Google's already showing us that that's what it likes. Cat hat styles. Do you want to be showing up in the images? If so, is this going to be the best way to drive traffic to your website? You might want to have a cute little pic like this. You might want to have your branding in your images. We can definitely SEO our content for our, sorry, they're so cute, for where we're going to be discovered. Or should I put a hat on my cat? We can see here as well that we've got some longer form blog sort of topics here. Google is still putting shopping second, because Google's like, hey, hang on a second. They want to put a hat on their cat. They're going to want a hat for that cat. And so it's kind of got a backup plan in place too. Did you know about the way that Google kind of ranks content in these different types? I know that I was really interested in this when I first found it out. So let's look at your blog topic. What is a question that you've been asked about your business? This is going to be your blog topic. So for example, Kim, if you're a custom artist, maybe you've been asked how long it takes to create your custom work and why. So your topic might be something like exactly how long it takes to create a custom artwork. Or if you're a mastermind, maybe you've been asked what happens inside a mastermind. So you could write a blog on something like, here's your guide to what happens inside a mastermind. Or are you a website designer? Maybe you get questions like, why do you design on a platform that you do? Your topic could be something like WordPress versus Squarespace for business coaches. Or are you a virtual assistant focusing on customer experience? You might be met with potentially people who are really confused about why it might matter about having customer experience. So your topic might be something like ways to boost sales through a seamless customer experience. I'm going to give you like a minute to think about a question that you've been asked about your business, and feel free to put it in the chat as well. I'd love to see that, and we can also tweak that as well if we need to be more specific. I'm going to have a little sippy while you think. Okay, no one. Fritz says, I get asked about the best website platforms for certain types of business. Which website platform should I choose and why? Yes. How to proactively sell. Love that. I feel like Brit, when it comes to, or I'm not sure if this is Brit. Brit's name is coming up a lot, but it might be someone else. I get asked about best website platforms for certain types of businesses. Yes. So let's say the type of business is a florist. So you could write a blog about 5 reasons why Shopify is the best website platform for florists. I think that's a really great starting point, because it's really specific to what people are asking you, but also that specific business, instead of best website platform for businesses. Does that make sense? How to proactively sell. Yep, Bree, I love that. Perhaps because it's such a big question, we could look at something like how to proactively sell at Christmas time, or how to boost your hotel sales in the quiet season, or something along those lines to make it a bit more specific. What do you use to create your artworks? Love that. Yes, my top 10 artwork creation tools. Oh, Carly, I don't know why you're coming up as Brit, sorry. Okay, cool. Hopefully we've got something to start with there. So if you're still having a little bit of trouble though with coming up to, Yoda is coming up as Brit too. Sorry, Brit, you're just like morphed into multiple people now. I'm not sure why it's done that. So if you're still having trouble coming up with a specific question that you've been asked, then a really great way to get even more ideas is to go to a place called Answer the Public. And as a general rule, you want to be blogging to educate, inspire, or entertain. So when you head to answer the public, keep that in mind. And then all you need to do is to type in what your business does or your business focus is. For example, I've taken the mastermind example and chucked it into answer the public. You'll get all of these different visualizations, which are really great at getting some types of look into what other people are searching for. So here you will find other questions that people have as well. So we've got, what is a mastermind group, which could be a great way to start. And that's one of my favorite things about using this tool, is that when you jump in, you can easily see like questions that people have that might even slip your mind. Like you might just assume that people know what a business mastermind is. Or we've got as well down the bottom here, mastermind for female entrepreneurs. And you can use that to center your topic around. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea to get started. So next, let's move on to how to make dollars from your blog by choosing the right Backstage green room. So Backstage green room is what I like to call a call to action as well. So now that you've got them, let's say you've written something super relevant to them, you've got them, they're reading, and they get to the end and they're like, well, what do I do now? I really loved that. So think about, after they read this blog, what do they need to do next, or what makes most sense for them to do next? It's all, making money through your blog is all about having a targeted place to send people next. Now, you want to capture your traffic through the right secret green room Backstage door. So having things like your opt-in, for example, if I'm writing a blog about brand voice, then I will link to my brand personality playlist quiz, because that would be the next step. Someone who's curious about brand voice is probably not ready to buy my services just yet. So I want to be able to nurture them in another way, through my owned traffic. So for me, that's an opt-in where I can then email people. Or if I was writing a blog about SEO, then I would be linking through to my SEO quiz. See how like matching the intent of what they are learning can really help with getting them to convert through those other places. Now, new content type you could also introduce people to as the next step. It could be, for example, linking through to your podcast, or to have a chat. Do they need to have a channel to talk to you through after watching this? Does there need to be a chat bar? Like what does that look like for you? Or stay and have a drink. Do you have another blog that could help with this person's insight into what they've just learned? They might be interested in learning more about that particular topic. Or a service. You might link to your services in this blog if you feel that they're ready to purchase based off of the blog topic. The thing is, though, even if you know what to write about and how to get people to stay and have a drink on your blog, there's still no guarantee that it'll be discoverable without SEO. So that means you'll have to drive all of your traffic there and you'll be back where you are now, or put it off because no one will read your content because it's not optimized for the content relevance and what to do next and how to make sure that that's a really valuable resource for your business and to keep people on your owned traffic platforms. So you rock, and you showed up to this masterclass because you want to use SEO to your advantage so you can reach more people and position yourself as an authority to grow your sales with little effort while saving you time and money. And also you're questioning, though, is SEO really going to be easy? Because it's all well and good for me to sit here and say that it is, but perhaps you're still unsure. Or maybe you're not sure if you'll actually see results from doing your own SEO. So here's a little secret. Nothing in this masterclass is speculation or guessing. This is the exact process I use in my business when my clients are working with me as well. And I help businesses to go from procrastinating and wasting time to sharing content that's valuable and also discoverable, instead of it simply being poured in time for little reward in return. When you are spending a lot of time into content that doesn't give you a return, it can get exhausting and it can be expensive because it's potentially not the best use of your time. By having a clear understanding of what SEO is and how to implement it in your business so that you can reach more people, grow your business, and have more time for the stuff that you love. That's what gets me excited. So imagine how you'd feel if you knew exactly how to write SEO content. You could attract more inquiries with little effort. You knew that your time creating content wasn't wasted. You were showing up as an authority in your industry. You confidently knew that your website was reaching more people, not just the people who know you and your brand name. If you stopped spending so long agonizing over Instagram captions and started seeing the repeat benefits of your hard work so that you can spend more time doing the things that you love. Would you like a simple, fast, and fun step-by-step training to write SEO blogs quickly and correctly so you can have a 24/7 marketing machine that works for you long after you create your content, even while you snooze? So the way I see it is that you have 4 options. First option is do nothing and never, ever SEO your content. That means that you always have to drive your traffic to this place where you literally make sales. You have to rely on your direct connections in other places and pour time into creating content there over and over that only lasts a short amount of time. Your second option is to do it yourself and ironically spend ages Googling things to try and figure it out. Your third option is to outsource to an expensive SEO agency, never really knowing for sure if they're doing what they say they are, or even if they're doing anything at all, not understanding what they tell you and just kind of nodding along, but not really getting what's actually happening. Or option 4, follow a proven step-by-step process that shows you exactly what to write and how to write your first discoverable blog. So you know exactly what to do to help your content to be discoverable over and over, and time never gets wasted and you never get overwhelmed. I'd like to introduce you to SEO for Beginners. SEO for Beginners is a simple, fun, and fast step-by-step training to go from uh-oh to SEO in 90 minutes. So you can write your first piece of SEO content, reach more people, grow your business, and have more time for fun stuff, all without confusion, vague advice, or overwhelm. Basically, it's everything you need to go from idea to upload. SEO for Beginners is your 90-minute fast track to writing discoverable articles that help you build authority and credibility, help you reach new audiences, work as a 24/7 marketing machine. So what I mean by this is when your content is out there and it's live, people can discover you no matter their location, no matter their time zone, no matter the time of day. Maybe they've woken up at 3 a.m. and they are Googling things. This can really help to reach a wider range of people when they need you. Perhaps they've got a really tricky question about graphic design or website design and they want to know the answer. When you turn up for those answers without having to be there live, creating that live content all of the time, this is so powerful for your business. And you want to make sure that you're writing articles that are actually worth your time, because it's one thing to write something, it's another thing to help make it discoverable. We don't want your content expiring because what you put into something is so, so important. So it's really important to be able to increase your chances of discoverability and drive traffic to your website without paying for it. And by that, I mean paid ads and things like that. We don't want to be having to rely on those areas. Inside here, we go through SEO terms and choosing the right content topic, how to find the right keywords so your time spent wisely, where to put your keywords so that Google wants to wink at it. We debunk important SEO terms so you know what's going on there. We go through literally everything. So how to structure your page, and this is all in 90 minutes as well. How to upload your blog to WordPress, Shopify, Squarespace, other elements that influence your SEO after you hit publish, which is really, really important, and what to do once your blog is live to maximize your performance. And remember, you can use these rules on your website pages as well. So SEO for Beginners is absolutely for you, even if you're not techie, you don't have a lot of time, you're a new or a small brand. This is really great as well because it means that you're getting on the right foot straight away. If you don't have an analytical bone in your body like me, you don't consider yourself a writer, Instagram captions take you forever to write, you may as well be investing that time in a place that doesn't expire, and you aren't going to write blogs for your business. So these rules are also useful for your website pages and upskilling upskilling your team, or to make sure that when you're outsourcing, you understand all of the crazy lingo as well. So SEO for beginners isn't for you if you don't have a website and you aren't going to get one. What we're going to go through is how to use SEO on your website and also in your blogs. And it's not for you if you're already getting heaps of traffic on your website and heaps of inquiries because of that. Not for you as well if you don't like learning through video. It's 90 minutes of video screen share. We have some fun downloadables in there too. And you only want your existing audience reading your content. If you want to reach more people, it is for you. If you're happy with who you're already reaching, then it's not. And so if you're not interested in reaching new people, then it's not for you. But when you join SEO for beginners, you get a complete at your own pace course and lifetime access to all upcoming updates as well. You also get access to the course portal, 8 video series, download. You also learn exactly how I put blogs together for clients. So this is exactly how I write SEO blogs for my clients and for myself. At the time of this recording, these packages start at $3,970 plus GST for me to do this for other people. However, you could just learn all of the steps that I put into place. Also, it's all well and good to have an SEO article, but 80% of readers actually make a snap judgment on the headline alone. So this way, with the headline hack sheet, which is a cool little bonus that I'm popping in for you, you will also have 50 headlines to directly steal from me. They're just add in the blanks and you can have captivating headlines. A lot of my students in SEO for beginners really love using this for social posts as well as the heading on social posts to captivate people. This way you can engage your audience from the get-go. And I wanted to take you through what some of my students have been saying. So this is the lovely Amy. So Amy is a bookkeeper and she's a founder of Business Lane. And she said that whenever I'd hear someone talking about SEO, I would cringe. I thought it was something super complex and that it would take a million years to understand how it all works. And to Danielle, the sparkly rockstar unicorn of copywriting and SEO and her fab course, not only do I now have an understanding of how SEO works, I know how to find and assess keywords, how to incorporate them into my writing and all the techie spaces on my website. I finally understand fancy words like metadata, and I had a great time learning about all this stuff. Danielle's approach to teaching is refreshing, and I was literally laughing out loud along the way with her, which is super cute. Also, we've got Jess, and Jess really liked the tools that I shared inside SEO for beginners. So before this course, Jess said that I'd been advised that my website was the wrong ratio of pictures to words because hello, graphic designer. So I decided to create a blog, but quickly learned there was more to it than just writing words. Before I completed the course, I had very basic understanding of SEO, but now having completed it, I feel confident in all the sneaky areas I need to be smart with my words. I love how Danielle shows you how to do absolutely everything. And I think that that's maybe the most important part because you really do learn everything from a beginner's perspective through all of it. At the end, you will have an SEO blog, which is really exciting. And then we've also got Monique from Campgrounds in Tamworth. So Monique had no idea what the concept SEO meant. She said it all sounded also weird and hard. Monique also owns a cafe in Tamworth called Campgrounds. And as you can imagine, since Google is clever, it would see this and think that they were a literal campground. And when Campgrounds opened in early 2020, they were in a little alleyway and people struggled to find their coffee shop because they weren't showing up in Google. Monique enrolled in SEO for beginners and found SEO to be easy to understand and fun. Now Monique is confidently conquering her SEO and has upskilled her team as well. And I think the most exciting part too is that she says, now people tell us that we show up when they Google specialty coffee in Tamworth, and that was our goal. So they had an existing website and they updated the content on there, started writing a few blogs, and it all helped to bring them up in the search engines for what they actually did, even though they've got a tricky name. If you've got a tricky name, my name, Reed City, does not sound like a copywriter. So you can definitely use this if you've got tricky names as well. As well, Claire from the King Collective, she said, SEO is a concept all business owners should understand and know how to implement. This course will ensure you are equipped with the knowledge you need. I highly recommend this for anyone new to SEO or if you are unsure about how to effectively implement it in your business. I also wanted to let you know that SEO for Beginners is a real hoot and it's effective too. So based on my personal experience with this process, as well as my students' results, I believe in this fun and easy course so very, very much that if you follow the steps in this 90-minute training, you will have an SEO article at the end. There's no question about it. But if you feel these steps haven't shown you exactly how to SEO your content, simply email winks@readcitywriting.com with your finished piece of work for your money back. All you need to do to claim the official For Those About to Write guarantee, I love the name, is watch the training and action each step as instructed. Then submit your completed work within 14 days from purchase, and I'll give you a full refund. So why should you enroll now? Good question. So SEO for Beginners is shorter than it's ever been before. I've just revamped all of the content so that it is snappy, it is quick, it is easy, and I would go as far to say it's pretty fun too. You also get the bonus headline hack sheet valued at $99. So that means as well that you can capture attention and then also be optimized for discoverability too. You also receive access to all future updates. So once you are in, and this is super exciting. So if you enroll today, SEO for Beginners is $297 Australian dollars, and that includes lifetime access to all future updates, the headline hack sheet, the downloads to swipe, and support from me anytime. All you need to do is head to readcitywriting.com/SEO, and all of the information is in there waiting for you to come in. So this is essentially what you'll go through. You'll click through to this website page where you can click the buy now. It'll take you to this spiffy little page here. Simply click buy, and when you do, you'll just need to set up a really quick account. Then you can go with credit card or PayPal, either way. Amazing, thank you guys. And then inside the course, you've also got everything you need. So after that, you're already in, everything's waiting there for you right now. You can begin right now. If you are super duper keen, I would love that. So just as a reminder, that is $297 with lifetime access to all the future updates as well as I make them, the headline hack sheet, support anytime, and the downloads to swipe as well. So we've got the 90-minute of content in there, and then we've also got some extra downloads and things that can help you while you are writing the content, which is fun. But I know what you're thinking, what if I get lost? What if it's all too hard for me? I get that, but know that you can email me anytime at hello@readcitywriting if you have any questions about the course. But please do know as well that no one ever has, because it's all very, very simple inside. What if tech is your enemy? It is easy peasy. I promise you, we don't need to use any expensive tools or anything like that. I do give you some links and things to tools that can help us, but I run you through exactly how we use them, and they all have free trials as well. It is not a super techie course as long as you've got the logins to your website and you can post a post on your website, then that's basically all we need to get started. And I know what you're thinking, what if you're busy? We are all busy all of the time, but remember, this is a 90-minute training. So you can go from outta to SEO in just 90 minutes, which is not long at all. There are, of course, extra bonuses and things in there, but you do not need to make use of all of them to get from A to B. You can just watch the 90-minute content and get going. I would probably recommend between watching the content and actioning, 3 hours should do it. And you could even start with, 10 minutes a week if you really want to. All of the videos are super small bite-sized videos, like some are around 2-3 minutes, others around 7 minutes, some are a little longer, but you can use them and do it at your very own pace whenever it suits you, which is really, really exciting. So as a reminder, here's all of the information yet again. So you get lifetime access, all those future updates, the headline hack sheet, support from me anytime, and downloads to swipe too, all for just $297, which is really, really exciting. So that is all of the information. that I have to share with you, and also some info from other people who are loving SEO for beginners as well. I'm really, really excited for you to learn more about SEO and what it can do for your business. If you have any questions, feel free to send them through. Oh, thanks, Martin. Yes, I'll see you in there. Bree, I'll see you in there as well. Kim, oh, thank you guys. This has been so much fun, honestly. Kim had a question earlier actually about SEO, and she asked, if you write SEO content and then you have a lot of SEO articles, should you just release the hounds, release them all at the same time, or should you drip them over time? Personally, I prefer to have drip them over time. This is easier for you because it means you can repurpose the content into emails and into your socials and things like that as well. Also for the reader, it makes it a lot easier. There's not overwhelm of choice, and people love new stuff. So you can make sure that they're getting new content over time too. That's maybe one of my favorite things, is that you put in the effort once and then it pays off over time for you. Actually, inside the course, one of my personal favorite parts of the course is that there is a video which goes through the 10 steps. So from outta SEO is basically boils down to 10 steps. And in a very short video, I take you through every one of those steps. So we can go from idea to upload, where to go together. And I go through how I choose my topics and give you some examples. Also how I do my keyword research, how I build out the content of the blog and where things go, as well as the call to action and the strategy behind it. I even take you through how to get a link back to your blog, and one that was successful for me using the exact same system that I teach you. So that is everything. If you don't have any questions, then I might leave it there. But thank you so much for coming. I hope that you learned something along the way. And I really look forward to seeing you in the future. Rock your SEO copy and let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to email me. Otherwise, I'll see you on the other side, and happy SEOing. Have a great day. Thanks again for coming. Okay, bye.